Hi guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name's Sophie. I'm usually only called Sophie if I've done something wrong, so call me Soph. I'm known as Soph on Instagram and here on FlossTube. So this is my channel all about cross stitch, where I just talk all about my cross stitch addiction, what I've been stitching on, what I want to stitch on, etc, etc. If you've been here before, you know the drill. If you haven't, if you like cross stitch, this is the place for you, hopefully. So I'm just going to go through a few things with you today. So I'm going to start with some finishes. I've got some new starts. I've got a UFO that I wanted to discuss with you. Whips, I've got some hauls, some future plans, some mentions, some books or a book that I've been reading, and then what I've been watching as well. So apologies for the light today. The weather is crazy here in Wales, as it usually is. It's sunny, then dark, then sunny, then dark, so it's just going to be, it is going to be what it is, but I'm going with natural light today just because I don't know how much longer it's going to be around, so we will stick with that for now. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show you is my first finish of the month. So this is my Night Spirit Studios Victorian Morning Willow. So it's a complete finish. Obviously it's not full finish, but I absolutely love this. This bit was quite boring to stitch, but it made up for it on these bits, and once I got going it was quite a quick stitch. So I started this as a hashtag stitch for sage. If you're around in the FlossTube community, I don't need to explain what that hashtag is about, but that's what I started it for. I absolutely love Night Spirit Studios patterns, and I just wanted to get this one stitched up. Probably going to get like a gothic frame to go with it just to make it pop. So this was started on the 18th of August, and the reason I'm hiding a little bit, I've got a cheat sheet on the back of here, so forgive me. I finished this on the 14th of October. It's stitched on black 18 count Aida, and it was called for DMC, so there was just 3 DMC colours, stitched 2 over 1. So I absolutely love the effect on this, and the skull is so cute. So yeah. That is my one and only finish for the month. So on to my new starts. So I've got 2 new starts to show you this month, and I had to stop myself from starting like 3 others. It's a starting time for me at the minute. I don't know about like why, because we're leading up to the new year, but I just feel like I want to start everything. So you'll probably be seeing some more stuff from me, but for now I'm just going to be showing you these 2. This start is called The Hound and the Hare, and this is what it'll look like finished. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I believe when he designed it he actually gave money to a Whippet charity, or like a Greyhound Trust charity, for like percentage of the patterns sold. And if you've been around here a little while, you'll know I've got my own little hound called Molly. She's a Whippet and she's my life, and I just needed to stitch this for her. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. So this is my start. And as you can see, I've changed the writing here to Molly and then 19, which is the year that she was born and the year that we got her. I started this with my friend Diana Nichols. She is a stitchy friend of mine that we met on FlossTube, I believe, and then started speaking on Instagram. And I mentioned that I wanted to start a Modern Folk Embroidery pattern, and she said she'd start it with me. So if you do want to start this pattern, please use hashtag MFE Hound SAL. So if you do want to use it, please join along, but you don't have to just stitch this one. You could stitch any Modern Folk Embroidery and join us as well. We'd love to have you on board and see all your stitching. So I started this on the 29th of October, and I've stitched it on 40 count antique pink, and it's by Coffee Craft Fabrics. So I picked this up at the Bristol retreat, and I just thought, how the hell am I ever going to stitch on something so small? And to be honest, it is probably the nicest fabric I've stitched on, and I really like stitching on 40 count, and I just love the effect. It's just so neat and tidy, and it does make the pattern a lot smaller, but that's easier when it comes to framing, isn't it? I chose DMC 3726 to go on this pink, so it's pink on pink, and I'm stitching it 1 thread over 2. and so far I'm loving it. So I'm not at a page finish on this one just yet. I'm close. I am on, let me have a look, 21.5%, 21.5% of the way through this pattern, and I had to stop stitching this because of the new start I've just done is a SAL, and there's a time frame on it, but this is going to stitch up really quickly just because I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm definitely going to be getting more 40 count fabric because I think it's my new best friend. As someone who stitched on 14 count Aida for a very long time and didn't really realise there was other stuff out there, I'm shocked that I'm changing to this, but I love it. And you've got to evolve, right? Not saying I'm never going to stitch on 14 count again, because I will. I love trying all different fabrics. So that is my first start. So my second start is something that I'm sure a lot of you guys will be starting as well. So this is by Lola Cross Stitch, and it's called the Creepy Christmas Village SAL. So this is what the first pattern released will look like. So there's going to be a set of, I think it's 8 or 6 different ornaments. So they're going to be little designs that you stitch up and then you change into a bauble or change into an ornament of some sort. So this one was released on the 3rd of November and this is when I started it. So this is the pattern so far. So it's little creepy Christmas carolers and I absolutely love them. I've made a slight mistake here, just made this a bit too long, so I just need to undo that today. Got a bit carried away when I was watching Selling Sunset last night and I stitched a few too many. So I'm going to unpick that today. I think it's like 3 stitches and then just carry around this like green mist around them. And I'm not long off a finish. I think I've just got to do the snow here, the snow around here and just some detail in their faces. But I really enjoyed this. Started it on Friday the 3rd of November. I'm hoping to finish it today on the Sunday. They're released each week and I think there's one break to catch up or just to have a rest. It is quite fun. I've really enjoyed it so far. It's the first Lola cross stitch I've stitched, but I've been so tempted by other SALs like her Greenhouse of Oddities and like the Spooky Library one I think she did. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far and I'm really excited to see next week's. Now, if you've been here a while, you know I'm not the most Christmassy person. So when it came up and it was a creepy Christmas, I just thought that's me because I prefer Halloween and this just makes me want to stitch Christmassy. But I do have 2 weeks off this year for Christmas. So I'm hoping I become less of a Grinch this year because I've got time off to stitch and spend time with family. So we will see. I might be different by the end of the year. So this one, if I stop rambling, this one is on 36 count linen and it's the called for linen from Fox and Rabbit and it's called Elephant Run and I really like it. So I've cut this into 8x8 inches. Not much else I can say about this one, but I'm really enjoying it. It's hashtag Creepy Christmas Village SAL. So if you want to follow it along, go have a look. I think there's already been someone who's finished already. I'm quite competitive and I really wanted to try, but I love my sleep and I just needed early nights this weekend. So yeah, this is the first one. So that's it for my new starts at the moment. As I said, it was nearly more. Had to stop myself. Maybe next month I'll show you a few extras. So the next thing I wanted to chat with you about is a UFO that I'm thinking of, so an unfinished object, and I'm thinking about getting rid of it completely from my whip pile. And I've never done this before with a pattern. I've always kind of soldiered through if I'm not enjoying something, but since I've done FlossTube, I've found that I like to stitch what I love. So that's why I've got about 8 whips on the go now, and if I'm feeling something I'll pick it up and stitch it, and it's a hobby after all. So I feel that if you lose love for something, should you really continue stitching it? I used to be like this with books and I used to just soldier through even if I wasn't enjoying it, just to say I'd read it. And these days I just go, do you know what, I can't waste my time with it. And I think I might go this way with stitching. It is nothing on the pattern that I decided to stitch, I'm just not enjoying it anymore and I haven't picked it up since I started it. So I think it is something that I am going to put away or maybe unpick and use the fabric for something else. This is the pattern. I don't know if you can see it. So this is what it'll look like completed. And this is what I've done. So I've stitched the bee and the E, and I started on the K, and I've done it on this 14 count Aida in pumpkin patch, and I really like the fabric, and I thought it'd be quite like a 70s vibe, and I love the actual pattern and the meaning behind the pattern. So be kind, I've got a tattoo that says exactly the same. So this was a freebie from Lazy Daisy Cross Stitch when you joined her newsletter, and I really wanted to stitch it as like a simple stitch, but I've got so many patterns at the moment. They're all block colours, and this is block colour as well, and I'm just really not feeling it. So I don't know whether I'm just going to put it aside and pick it up when it brings me joy, or I'm just going to get rid of it completely. But let me know what you do when you find a pattern like this and you're just not stitching on it. Do you get rid of it completely, or do you save it for like a rainy day? And let me know what patterns they are. And this pattern's lovely. It's not something that it's because I don't like the pattern. It's just I don't have the energy to stitch it at the moment, and that sounds really bad. It's nothing against the artist or the pattern itself. So yeah, I'm digging myself into a hole now. I'll put down the shovel, but let me know what you think. I'm considering UFOing. I think that's the right term. So this month I've just been picking up all my whips and just making sure that, hello whip, hello baby. Sorry, my whippet's come to say hello. You coming up? Up. Hello, say hello to everyone. You gonna help me? Yeah? Okay. Apart from this whip, go on then. She's so nosy. She loves looking at everything that's going on in the house. So this month I've just been going through all my whips and picking them up. I think I've stitched on every one apart from the one I was just talking about UFO in. This is the Freddie Mercury / Queen pattern, and it's by Unique Stitch Crafts. So this is what it'll look like when it's completed, but this is what it was last time I showed you, and this is where I am with it. So I'm nearing a 2-page finish on this one. So I think the last time I showed you I hadn't finished the leg or the foot, and I hadn't done this bit of black. But I'm getting there, and as I said before, I do really like the finish of this pattern, but it can be quite tedious just stitching these long bits of colour. So I'll do a little bit every now and then, and eventually I'll get a finish on it, and I can't wait till it's on my wall because it is a great finish when it's done. I started it on the 13th of April, and I'm stitching it on 18 count white Zweigart Aida from Luca S. I'm stitching it with all the called for DMC, and it's 2/1. But I absolutely love this, and I'm a huge Queen fan, so my family, and I can't wait till it is finished and I can stick it up on my wall and it can bring some brightness into the room. So the next one I'm going to show you is the other SAL that I'm a part of, which is the Wanderer SAL, and it's by Quarter Neon Creations. I show it to you every month, so I won't go through it in much detail. But it's just a cabinet with bottles in, and each bottle holds a country. So each month one gets released. I think it's on the 13th or 14th. I should know by now. I've been doing it for however long, I think 8 months. Let's have a look. So, started with Venice, then Cairo, then New York, so the top 3. And then it went to Paris, Tokyo, Athens was the last one I showed you. And the newest one is Rio, and I love the greens in Rio, and the just the monuments and stuff are just incredible. I really enjoyed stitching the flag too. But yeah, that is that. So we've done, how many have we done in total? We've done 7 in total, and we've got, I believe, 4 more. So the next one will be released soon and I'll be able to stitch that up. But this is one of my favourite SALs that I've stitched. It's all in black work, and it's the first time I've ever done black work, and I absolutely love it. So this was started on the 29th of April 2023, and it is stitched on 16 count Aida in beige. I quite like it because it's almost like a potato sack. I kind of like that texture and look. It's stitched with DMC, most of the called for, but I will just pick whatever I've got in stash if I don't have the called for. And it's stitched 2/1 in the cross stitch sections, and in the black work sections obviously it's just 1 over whatever I'm stitching it over. So that's that one. I can't wait till this is all finished and I can just hang it up on my wall. So when will it be finished now? So we'll have a November release, December, January, February probably. Am I calculating that right? Yeah, February. I'll be quite sad when it's over. I might have to join another one of Quarter Neon Creations because I absolutely love them. Really, really good. I recommend. Hashtag the Wanderer SAL is the hashtag to use, and that's everything on that one, I think. My next whip I started in May for hashtag Man in May SAL. It's Carolyn Manning and it's called Eclipse, and this is what it'll look like fully completed, and this is what it looked like last time I showed you. I'm hoping I took a picture, and this is where I am now. So I've got a 2-page finish, so I just need to do 2 more pages, so I just need to double this on the other side and we're going to be able to finish. It's such a relaxing stitch when you get going. And I know it's block colour again, but this one is, just because it's smaller bits, it's nicer to stitch, I find. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping I'll get it finished by May, just so I can start another one. So we shall see. This one, as I said, was started on the 2nd of May 2023. It's stitched on Aida, and it's 16 count in navy. It's stitched with all the called for DMC, and it's stitched 2/1. I am just going to check if it's for 50% of the way through. Apparently I'm 49.2% of the way through. Don't know how that works because I just need to duplicate it on the other side. There must be something wrong with Pattern Keeper or something. Or marked up, sorry. I don't use Pattern Keeper. Yeah, but that is that one. And I can't wait to get a finish on this. They're just going to take some time, I think, with all the whips I've got going. I like to touch them all a little bit. Give them all a little bit of love. The lighting today is crazy. Welcome to Wales. So my next whip, I've only done a little bit of stitching on. I did want to pick it up and add some stuff to it. It's called Pink and Sun Landscape. It's by Crystal Feather Crafts. So this is what it'll look like completed. Hopefully I took a picture last time and this is what it was the last time I showed you. And then today is where I am with it. So I've added this little bit on here and the little rock, and I think I've just filled in the green bits here and there. There's like a few dots here and there. So this was started on the 21st of August of this year, and it's on Evenweave in 28 count in white. Instead of DMC on this one, I've stitched it in CXC, and I stitch it 2/1. No, 2/2 on this. So I'm really liking this one. Again, it's just a lot of block colour, but I seem to be falling into this trap at the minute, or have done in the past, of picking pictures that I really like, but they are just block colour. So I might avoid that in the future when I'm buying patterns. But you live and you learn, and you know, all stitching, isn't it? So my final whip is my little baby. So this is my Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's called Comforts at Home, and it's by Terry Redlin. So this is what it'll look like completed. If we put it up here, this is where I was last time I showed you, and this is where we are now. So I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So just a lot of sky and a lot of branches, but I'm making progress on it slowly. Obviously with my new starts and things, I've not been fully concentrated on this, but it is calling to me because I feel like I've left it out. So this was started on the 17th of September of this year. It's stitched on 28 count Laguna Easy Count, and it's stitched with CXC, and I'm stitching it 2/1 intense stitch, but I'm railroading it. And I'm stitching it in the Royal Rose method as well, so with the dungeons and parking, etc. Now it looks absolutely intimidating to me, or it would have looked absolutely intimidating to me before, but I'm actually really enjoying this method and stitching this way as well. So yeah, I really want to start this again, or pick this up again. So I think once I have stitched on the Christmas creepy SAL and finish that one, I'm going to pick this baby up too, just to give it some love. But I can't wait until 5 years time when I'm finishing this one. But I'm loving the pattern, and yeah, could not recommend picking up a Heaven and Earth Designs enough. They are all my whips. I think that's every whip that I've got in my pile. So it was almost like going through a whip parade with you. But I just had a month where I was just stitching on everything, which quite nice actually. I was able to pick up some ones that I loved, and then, as I've discussed, potentially get rid of one I'm not loving so much. I still feel quite bad about saying that I'm going to get rid of it, so please let me know if you guys have done that with a pattern and make me not feel so bad. So the first thing I wanted to show you on my haul are these pony-eyed tapestry needles. So you get a selection of sizes ranging from 22 to 28. The main ones I use at the moment, as you can see, are 28 and 26, just on the things I'm stitching on. Absolutely love these, and I love that they're coloured as well. So they're kind of colour coded, so you know what you're stitching with. These were like £3.40 on Amazon. I believe they're on offer at the moment. I think I might buy some more. I think they're like £2.40 at the minute, but these are really good, and I definitely want to continue using these for stitching. They've been the best needles I've tried so far. So yeah, definitely recommend these. The next thing I wanted to show you are some more needle minders, like I needed any more. So the Stitching Den were closing down, and these are one of my favourite shops for buying needle minders, and I was quite sad that they were closing down, but they did have a bit of a sale. So I decided to buy these two needle minders, and I can't see anything I'm doing right now. So I bought these two needle minders in the sale. So we've got a little pizza here that says True Love. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's a moon and a star in like an emerald green colour. But I absolutely love these. And I do love pizza. I think it is true love between us. Although I'm not the best with dairy, but I love pizza so much so that I still eat it. So definitely true love there. So those two needle minders, I think the shop is closed down for good now, so I don't think you can get these. But I don't know if they got them from like another supplier, or if they made them directly. I think they did make them directly. But yeah, those two. The next thing that I bought was for the Hound and the Hare SAL. So I wanted to get a 36 count pink fabric in exactly the same pink that I got from Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I decided to try Sew It All, and it's a lovely fabric that's arrived, but it's just not the colour I wanted. I should have gone back directly to where I got the 40 count from. So I don't even know if you're going to be able to tell that this is pink on screen, but it is apparently. So this is antique pink, but it looks like white to me. I don't know if I put something white up against it. There you go, you can see. It's like a dusky pink compared to the white. This is in 36 count, and a huge piece of fabric. Huge, huge, huge. But I will use this at some point for something else. It just wasn't the colour I wanted. Honestly, I think I need to find like a local shop that stocks fabric that I can just buy from, or just wait until I go to retreats and things and buy all my fabric there. Because buying online, you just don't get the colours you expect to get. Do you know what? I should have just held it up like this. It would have been easier. There you go. You can see my notes now as well. So that's the difference. Sorry, I'm being a bit of an idiot again. So yeah, that's the fabric I bought from Sew It All. Still great fabric, just not the colour I wanted. So the next thing I bought was this incredible pattern, and I'm so in love with it, and I think it's definitely going to be a new start for me ASAP. And this is the pattern I bought. It's called Cottagecore Mushroom, and it's by Stitch Sprout. Now, the name of the pattern, the name of the company, I just love, and the pattern itself. Look how beautiful. One thing I love about it is the mushrooms, of course. The second thing is the ladybirds. Now, if you've stuck around for a little while, or you've been around for a little while even, you know that I absolutely love ladybirds. Ladybirds remind me of my mum, and I've got a ladybird tattoo here just to represent her. So yeah, anything with ladybirds on, I'm just like, yes, that needs to be stitched by me. So that's definitely something that will be on my floss tubes coming up. So don't be surprised when you see it. It's definitely on the top of my to stitch pile. So not much haul from me this month. I thought I bought more, to be honest, but I think I've just been controlling myself, maybe just because I've been stitching more, don't know. But I definitely don't need to buy any more. When you're scrolling and you see other people buying patterns, you're just like, that is something I need and I want. And I earn money, so why can't I buy it? Yeah, I don't know when I'll find the time for most of the stuff I've bought. As you all probably can agree with me, it's an addiction, but there's worse addictions out there, right? It's fine. I'm all good. So I wanted to talk some future plans with you. I haven't got any dates in mind, but I'd like to start them soon. The first one I want to start with, I did show you recently. And this is my one and only Long Dog sampler, and this is the Pilgrim. And I absolutely fell in love with this when I was in the Bristol Stitchy retreat, so I bought it, and I have the perfect fabric for it to go on. I will take it out of its packaging. So this is the fabric that I want to stitch this onto. And I just think it'll look lovely. So that, not in 310, but in 3799. So that is the colour scheme I'm going for, and I'm super excited. Now this is 40 count, I've written it down somewhere, 40 count Newcastle linen in Lagoon. Yeah, and I'll be stitching it with 3799 DMC, or this one's CXE that I've got in my hand just to show the colour. I think I've got DMC for it, so I'll be doing that instead. So that one is one I'll be starting soon, I hope. Maybe once I finish the Hound and the Hare, that can replace it, but a Long Dog is a commitment, and I've already got a Heaven and Earth, so I'm just going to do it. Let's just do it. The next one for Christmas, I wanted to start. This is the most Christmas I'll get in a pattern, I think, but I fell in love with this. In all honesty, I ordered it back in April, I think, because I thought it was just an old Victorian house, and I was going on an eBay buy-in spree, and I didn't really look at it too much. I just chucked a bid on. I was like, that's an incredible Victorian house. I want it. And when it came, I was like, oh damn, it's Christmas. I'm a Grinch. And then I thought, well, maybe this will like melt my Grinch heart. And this is called Kringles, and it's by the Little House Needleworks. And if you can see, oh, I should have taken it out of its packaging, but it's got like little Christmas trees here and a wreath. I think there's like Christmas toys down here, and it's just like an old department store, and there's a nutcracker there, just all set up for Christmas. And I actually really like it. I think it's very cute, and I was chatting to Diana and we said how it's so cute that they've got these little tiny boxes that you can kind of treat as one, like a finish almost, and it's just so symmetrical and pleasing to the eye, and I love a house. So that is going to be one I start for Christmas, so I just need to kit up for that, get the fabric. I don't know if I'm just going to do it on like white. I might do it on a completely different colour to make it pop. Maybe red. We'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna do some matching and see what I come up with. And I need to go through the threads, because there's some threads I've never seen there before. CCW and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. It's in French and I know I'll mess it up. But yeah, I'm going to research that. And if I don't know what it is, I might call on you guys for some help. Because you may know it more than I do. And if you do know what CCW is, please comment below and educate me, please. But yeah, that is going to be another start for me. Whew. So a couple of mentions I just wanted to go through. Now I think I've already mentioned this person before, but I can't not mention her when I've taken some inspiration for her with a long dog sampler. So this is Wolfie Stitches on Instagram, and I saw her stitching, like her stitching's incredible, and she chooses the most incredible colours to go with her stitching. Now the lagoon colour that I got for the long dog sampler, she used on another pattern. Can't remember the name of the pattern. I think it might have been one of the cottage sampler ones, but I could be making that up completely. I know it was a raven or a crow that she was stitching, and it looked absolutely incredible with like the black on it, so that's the reason I decided to choose that for the long dog. She's just posted about another pattern she's doing. I think it's called Gone Batty, and she's doing it on this beetroot fabric, and this beetroot fabric is incredible, and I would never think about choosing it for that sort of pattern, but it's so nice. It's made me want to pick that pattern, that linen or Evenweave, and have that for another pattern that I've got elsewhere, and just try and be bold with things. So yeah, definitely go check her stitching out on Instagram. I love everything that she does, and it's very unique and imaginative. The next person I wanted to shout out, I've recently started following her, and I think vice versa, Woolly Kim Stitches. She's got an amazing finish on Spring Quaker by Lila Studio, and I've seen a few other people stitch this, but her finish was absolutely incredible, and it's made me want to buy that pattern. So this is her finish here, and I am definitely going to be buying this pattern, starting it probably end of January, beginning of Feb, just so I have that motivation to get into the spring months, because I find those months a real struggle. Even though my birthday's at the end of Jan, after that I find that I struggle to get through winter into spring, and spring, I love spring, so I definitely want to stitch this one. So thank you so much for inspiring me by posting that on your Instagram, and if you don't follow her, go check her out. She has got some other lovely pieces as well. So the last person I wanted to mention was the Museum Stitcher, and if you guys big FlossTube watchers, you probably already watch her. But her video that she posted recently on the organisation of a DMC blew me away. I'm organised. I've got like boxes with bobbins in, but I've seen her floss drop bobbinators like combined, and now I want to redo my whole stash. And the way she does it is just so satisfying to me. It makes my little organisation soul so happy, and I just wanted to say thank you, but you've just made me spend a lot of money on organisation, which I don't mind because it'll save me a lot of time in the long run, but you have enabled me a lot. I think I might have to ask for those bobbins for Christmas, and then I need to get a full DMC kit. But yeah, they look incredible. They look really good. So thank you for sharing that with me and us and the community. Incredible video. Really enjoyed it. The final mention I wanted to talk about was Scarlett. Now Scarlett and I met in the Bristol Stitchy Retreat. We sat on the same table. I was looking at the fabrics from Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I was just getting so excited. I was like, I need a fabric for this long dog and I need to buy it today. I didn't find a colour that I wanted because I think I already had that lagoon colour in my head. But she showed me Yarn Tree. So it's a website where you go onto, you put how big your pattern is, like stitches wide by stitches high. You put the size of the fabric that you want to stitch on, the border that you want, so 2.5 inches, 3 inches or smaller, whatever you prefer, and it'll tell you what length fabric you need. So what centimetres by what centimetres, or what inches by what inches. And it tells you the needle size that you need, or they recommend you to stitch, and they also tell you if you need 1 thread or 2 threads. So I've used other websites before, but this one seems to be the best. So if you haven't heard of that, go check it out. But I might just be behind on the trend with this one. But this is definitely something I'll be using in the future, and it's helped me a lot. Because before I kind of guesstimated and then hoped and prayed that by the time the fabric got to me, it would be fine, and I'd measure it when I got it. But for some reason, like, measurements don't work in my head, so having this all down on a website really, really helps. So thank you so much, Scarlett. That is saved on my favourites now on my web pages, and I will definitely be using that again and again and again and again. So I've kind of flown through everything today, so that is everything when it comes to stitching. I just wanted to go through a couple of things with you. So I've got some books, what I've been watching, and yeah, that's it, I think, just to finish off the video. So if you're only here for the stitching, thank you so much for watching and watching me ramble on about what I've been stitching. It blows my mind that you guys want to be here to watch it, and I thank you so much. If you haven't been here before and you like what you saw, please give me a like and a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It makes my little cross stitch heart happy when I see all your follows and likes. So books, what have I been reading? I've been reading a bit, but this is the one book I wanted to mention, which is The Grace Year, because I talked about it the last time. Quite sad, really. How do I describe it without... I always say this each month. How do I describe it without giving it away? So I would say it's like an old-fashioned village where the women get sent away when they're 16 to release their power. And they have to go away for a year, and they basically go into a compound, and they are being hunted by people around outside of the compound, away from their village, and they have to get rid of their power so they can come back and be like quiet, obedient wives, basically. And the main protagonist in the book, she goes into the camp and just starts realising how wrong it is, and yeah, things change when she goes there. That's all I really want to reveal. I thought it would get like a cheesy romance in the middle, and I wasn't feeling that, but it didn't do that at all. It completely went the other way and shocked me, and the ending was right up my street. So I very much enjoyed it. So if you do like The Handmaid's Tale, I would definitely suggest it. I've already thanked Marjorie Maid for telling me about this on her, or just mentioning this on her FlossTube, because that's how I found it. But through that, I found The Power, which is the book I'm reading at the moment, and this is what it looks like. So this was recommended on the Grace Year cover as well. So I got it from my library, and basically it's all about women or girls that start discovering a power that comes like electric power that shoots out of their hands, and it's something that was supposed to have laid dormant in them for a long time, and I'm only like 90 pages in, and it's just swept around the whole of the world, and men are becoming scared of women because women start holding the power. And it's quite a feminist book from what I've read so far, and I'm loving it. It's going to be dystopian. It's written as if it's real, so they even provide like pictures of old monuments from like dig sites and things like that. So it feels like it could be real, and I love that. That's what I felt when I read Handmaid's Tale. It was like a letter, wasn't it, that they found, and yeah, it really speaks to me. So I'm really enjoying that so far, and I'm battling between reading that and stitching because it is book form that I got it. So definitely enjoying that so far, and I'll talk next month. Hopefully I'll have finished it, because I've pre-ordered the second book of Fourth Wing, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So that's me rambling about books again. So Iron Flame is coming in the post soon, so I'm hoping to finish The Power, then read Iron Flame. I think I just need to clone myself so I can get all of my hobbies done in one go. So what have I been watching? So I'll start with the theatre. So my friend Jen, she got us some cheap tickets to go to the Wales Millennium Centre in Cardiff, and we went to see The Life of Pi, and it was incredible. Now, I haven't seen the film, but I read the book a long time ago, absolutely loved it, and watching it on stage just made my little heart happy. It was so pretty. It was so well acted. It was just incredible. I would recommend it to anyone. Now, we got really good seats for the price we paid, just because she gets discount and things. And I absolutely enjoyed it so much. So much. I come back home and I was just like, that is the best thing I've ever seen in the theatre. It was giving, I want to say it was giving me like the Lion King vibes, and I've not seen the Lion King on stage, but what I imagine the Lion King to be like. The cast were incredible. The tiger, the way they made like the puppets. It sounds terrible when I'm saying they used puppets, but there was a tiger and a hyena that actually made me terrified. I was like a couple of seats from the front, and it come right up to the front of the stage, and my heart was going. Like, I felt like there was a hyena in front of me. I felt like there was a tiger in front of me. It was incredible. I would recommend it, hands down. One of the best things I've seen in the theatre. The other things I've been watching, I'll just go through these quickly. I have recently rewatched the original Exorcist, because I'm looking to go see the new Exorcist in the cinema, and still holds up as one of the best horror movies around, The Exorcist. I know it's an old film, but it's still fantastic. I know, it's some of the bits are quite laughable in it, but I don't think they are laughable, because the other film we watched is Alien, and that was laughable. The effects were funny. I wasn't scared at all. It was a great film, and I bet it was great in its day, but I think The Exorcist still holds up. The other film that I watched was Talk to Me. So this is a film where a group of kids find a hand, like a mummified hand, and they use this to commune with the dead. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun horror movie, but it wasn't everything I was hoping for. It was a little bit depressing. There were bits in it I was just like, what am I watching? Like, I physically had to move away from the screen, like I didn't want to see some gruesome bits in it, which I guess it actually did its job. I don't know if I'd watch it again. I did enjoy it. The other film that I watched is Fingernails. Now, I absolutely loved this one. So Fingernails has Jeremy Allen White, who is like my biggest crush on TV at the moment. If you don't know who he is, if you've seen The Bear, he's in that. And I think he was in Shameless as well, which I didn't watch. But he is in Fingernails, and it's about a company that test people to see if they're truly in love. It's supposed to reduce divorce and unhappy families, etc. And they take off a fingernail and they test it with the person that you're with. And they tell you if you're 100% in love, 50% in love, or 0% in love. And the woman who starts working in the place they do this with starts to question her relationship with Jeremy Allen White. But who would do that? I don't know. It's very depressing, which I love. Very funny, very dark comedy. Owen Wilson's brother's in it as well, and I can't remember his name. He's a great actor, and I should remember his name. It'll come to me when I finish the video. Some other famous people that you'd recognise as well. I definitely recommend. It came out recently in the cinema, and I think it's on Apple TV as well. But I watched that on the weekend, and I loved it. So there are a couple of things that I've been watching. The only other thing that I've started rewatching Buffy. Now, I'm a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan from when I was a kid. I used to cancel my plans on a Thursday night to watch it on Sky TV. I even lied to a few friends to say I was ill a few times, Little loner, loving Buffy was my childhood. So I'm definitely entering that part of my life again. I've only watched about 4 episodes, and I'll pop it on here and there, but it's just great fun rewatching them and having a laugh at the CGI. And I remember how terrified I was when I was younger, but I'm definitely enjoying those again. So that's all for me rambling, really. I think I've timed this quite well because I'm expecting a shop from Asda, and they haven't turned up yet, but I bet you any money they're going to ring the doorbell just as I'm finishing this off. So I will finish it off here. Thank you so much for watching and watching me ramble, and thank you to everyone who started following me. I've had quite a few follows recently, and everyone makes me really happy. I'd love to speak to you in the comments, so just drop me a comment. Drop me a like if you like it, but don't feel obliged. I will speak to you probably in a month's time and go through everything I've been stitching on. So thank you guys, signing off now, happy stitching, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.